Hello, my name is Suman C. Tharan, and I am a 57-year-old Malaysian, and my history with musical theatre goes back long ago when I was a little kid. My father, when he was growing up, enjoyed musical theatre as well. Although we lived in Malaysia, there was no real live theatre, but there were films of musicals, and he used to buy a lot of records. And as I was growing up, I was exposed to him playing all these records of old shows, and they were in the background. I grew up listening to them, not knowing very much. My father listened to them a lot. And when I was about 7 years old, my dad took me to a production of Peter Pan, which I found amazing because there were people flying around, and there was this little magical fairy that was just light, and it was, as a child, very entertaining. In 1972, I remember, again, very young, probably about 7, 8 years old, my mom and dad had gone to see a production of Cabaret, and they came back, and all they played for months and months was the soundtrack of Cabaret. And as I grew older, I was really interested to know how would they make these shows, which is about 2 hours long, that had all these scenes and acting and story. In a film, I knew it could be done because you stop and you start filming. But how do you do a 2.5-hour show on stage with all these set changes and scenery? And that started my interest in musical theatre. I ended up going to London and stayed there for 8 years, and my involvement with the theatre was very strong. I worked for Andrew Lloyd Webber in his theatres, so I got to see a lot of theatre productions, and it gave me the opportunity to watch a lot of musical theatre, which is where my passion lies.